Dora and Boots were spending the day at the beach in the summer. Some of their friends were eating ice cream, swimming, and playing in the sand. Suddenly, they saw a very weird sight. There was a snowman on the beach. Mr. Snowman was in the hot sun, and he got lost and scared that he was beginning to melt. Dora and Boots had to ask Map how to get Mr. Snowman home before he melts. Map had the 4 seasons, which were winter, spring, fall, and summer. Map said it's very hot in the summer and much too hot for a snowman. I find the correct season for Mr. Snowman. He's supposed to be where it's cold in the winter. Dora and Boots had to take Mr. Snowman back to the snowy mountain where it's winter. There was no boat, but there is a hot air balloon. Dora and Boots used it to take Mr. Snowman home to the snowy mountain. After getting on the hot air balloon, it took off from the beach and went directly to the snowy mountain. While on the way to the snowy mountain, a cold wind suddenly blew from the mountain, and snow began to fall from the mountain's cold wind. Mr. Snowman feels great now that he was frozen solid. The Dora and Boots were shivering cold because the temperature suddenly dropped significantly while they were still in their summer clothes when taking off in the hot air balloon. Dora and Boots needed something to keep them warm, so they had to check backpack for winter clothes, which contained their snowsuits, mittens, and boots, along with their winter hats, which were slightly different from the ones in the windy hill. After putting on their winter clothes, they successfully brought back Mr. Snowman to the snowy mountain. Someone else was lost and scared in the snowy mountain. It was a little flower. Little flower sneezed and couldn't take the mountain's extremely cold weather. Dora and Boots had to check Map again to find Little Flower's correct season. Map was glad that Dora and Boots brought Mr. Snowman back to the winter. But oh no! Little Flower is lost and she has to be where it's warm, he said. I find the correct season for Little Flower. She belongs with other flowers where it's spring. Boots puts a scarf on Little Flower to keep her warm, and Mr. Snowman gets out a sled so they can slide down the mountain. He tells Dora, Boots, and Little Flower that they had to follow the numbers from 1 to 5. However, he also warns them if they went the wrong way, they'll run into snow bears. Dora, Boots, and Little Flower reach a gate. The buzzer sounds and the gate opens. Dora, Boots, and Little Flower started sledding down the mountain to get Little Flower home to where it's spring. They followed the numbers from 1 to 5 and made it down the mountain. After that, Dora and Boots didn't need their winter clothes, snowsuits, mittens, and hats, along with Little Flower's scarf anymore, so they put them back inside backpack. Dora and Boots had to find the flower patch that looked just like Little Flower. Sure enough, I found a flower patch that had purple flowers, and it matched what Dora and Boots were holding. Suddenly, a voice went, Ayuda-me! Dora and Boots go, uh-oh! Someone else was lost and scared. It was a pumpkin. The pumpkin's name was Jack the Jack-o'-lantern, and said that he's lost and scared because he doesn't belong where it's spring. Dora and Boots checked Map to find out where the pumpkin lives. Map was glad that Mr. Snowman is back in winter and that Little Flower is back in spring. But he went, uh-oh, because the pumpkin is lost. If I find the correct season for Jack-o'-lantern, he belongs with other pumpkins in the fall. Dora and Boots had to figure out how to carry Jack-o'-lantern home. Boots couldn't pick him up because he was big and heavy. Dora and Boots used a wheelbarrow to carry Jack-o'-lantern. Boots rolls the wheelbarrow up to Jack-o'-lantern. They're about to pick him up when they heard Swiper was going to swipe the wheelbarrow. Jack didn't know what to say to stop Swiper. I told Jack what to say to stop him, which is Swiper, no swiping. Dora, Boots, and Jack stopped Swiper by saying it. After that, Dora and Boots lifted Jack-o'-lantern onto the wheelbarrow. He was heavy, but they both lifted him together. As Dora and Boots pushed the wheelbarrow down the path, the wheelbarrow gets stuck in the mud. I helped Dora and Boots push the wheelbarrow out of the mud, and then in no time, Dora and Boots are in fall. Now they had to find Jack-o'-lantern's pumpkin patch, but it was dark in the forest and they needed a light. Sure enough, Jack-o'-lantern lit up the entire forest, and I found the pumpkin patch. Jack-o'-lantern was home. Dora and Boots noticed that there are so many things to do in the fall. They did apple picking and jumped in the leaves. As Dora and Boots jumped in the leaves, a voice said, Ouch! Dora and Boots saw a sand crab. The crab was in the leaves, and Dora and Boots apologized and explained that they didn't see the sand crab under the leaves. Sand crab said it's okay because she has a tough shell. Boots asked Sand crab what she's doing in a pile of leaves, and Sand crab says that she was trying to keep warm. Dora and Boots go, uh-oh, and know that a sand crab does not belong in fall. Sand crab says that she is not used to such chilly wind and rain and is lost and scared. She doesn't belong in fall. She misses her crab family. So Dora and Boots check Map one more time to find out where Sand crab lives. Map was proud that Dora and Boots brought back Mr. Snowman back to winter, Little Flower back to spring, and the pumpkin back to fall, but Sand crab is lost. I find the correct season for Sand crab. She lives where it's hot in summer. Dora and Boots take Sand crab home to where it's summer, but it was very far away. Dora, Boots, and Sand crab go on a hayride with Caballito to where it's summer. A wind cloud starts chasing them. They went fast, but the wind cloud caught up. They went faster, and the wind cloud caught up even more. They went the fastest ever. One cloud gave up, and Dora and Boots took Sand Crab back to where it's summer. After bringing the four characters back to their correct seasons, the fireworks started up to celebrate Dora and Boots for bringing Mr. Snowman back from summer to winter, Bowflower back from winter to spring, Jack-o'-lantern back from spring to fall, and Sand Crab back from fall to summer. And that was how Dora and Boots got their friends in the right seasons.